how it is. She lied about that. I literally went out of town. So how many times could you possibly have reporting? Well, the good news is you're still rehireable.
My baby don't mess around because she loves me so, and this I know for sure.
I was about to say, don't piss me off. But hey y'all, welcome back. It's Tate, and today we got a pretty good story time today, okay? But before I get into that, I want to talk about two families. This is Juju's family right here. He needs help getting out of Gaza. He hasn't seen his kids in over 8 months. Y'all know it's a whole genocide going on in Palestine. So let's go ahead and help him get to his goal. And I also have another family. This is Elaine. This is Elaine's family. I hope I'm pronouncing her name right. But she has a bunch of different family members. I think she has 35, if I'm not mistaken. You can go ahead and donate, really help. Even if it's just like $5 or $1, it can really make a difference because they are in desperate need. They need the necessities that they need. They need to be able to live somewhere safe so they can get out of Rafah. Okay? Share out their links if you cannot donate, but I would really appreciate it. It's going to be down in the description. Families for Operation Olive Branch, if you want to donate to certain families or if you want to adopt certain families so you can help them reach their goals, we have a lot of different links there, and you can also know what you need to boycott. It's a lot of different stuff, and it's not just for Palestine. It's for Sudan, Congo, Haiti, Yemen. We didn't forget about them either, okay? It's a whole bunch of different countries that need our help. It helps a lot, so just interact with it, okay? Girl, look. It's in one of my settings. I'm learning the camera still, but anyway, let's get into the story time. So, y'all, this is the story time about how I got fired while working at Kroger. Girl, I was working overnight stock. Let me tell y'all. So, we're going to name this manager. We're going to name her Ponytail. Let's name her Ponytail. Yeah. So, basically, I started working at Kroger January through February, I think. I wasn't even really there for a full month. I was only there for like 3-4 weeks max. And let me tell y'all how everything went down. So I started working there and I was like, bet, okay, this is a job. I get paid weekly too. So I was like, bet I'm really finna make that money on. Y'all. Oh my gosh. So then, mind you, I just started working there. Me and this other dude, we was always like chilling. He was like 20 plus years older than me. So, you know, you got those coworkers where you could be 18, but now you're working with a 65-year-old, and they be the best ones to hang out with. Like, they really be vibing and stuff. So I was hanging out with him. We go call him Cereal because we always had to stock the cereal boxes together and everything. We work together all the time because I didn't talk to nobody else there. I had some people that used to work on my other job, but I wasn't really messing with them. So he was really like my bestie boo at work. I was like, bet. We finna, you know, do our thing. We finna get it done on time. And plus, we didn't really want to socialize with anybody else. So me and him just chilling. We stocking up the shelves and stuff. And mind you, we was doing our training at another Kroger the other day. Because it was like our second day working. They sent us to a different Kroger that was down the street. And they were like, you guys have to go here and work here and do your training. So when we got there, they were like, do you guys know what to do? We were like, yeah. So they were like, why do you guys even need training? And we're like, we don't know. We've already been through the training. So I don't know why they sent us here. Make sure my liner don't look stupid. So tell me why when I did get fired, they told me that I had like a doc or whatever, or like I got reported when I was at the training one. How do I even get reported at a store that's not even mine? And I was literally doing training. Niggas don't make no sense. They tell you that woman had it out for me. Anyway, let's get into the story. So basically, Cereal, me and him was stocking up the stuff, and then one of our managers came over there, and he was like, hey, we're going to get a new manager soon. She's very by the book, so make sure y'all do everything right and cool, whatever. Because she was coming from the other Kroger that I got reported at. How I get reported during training, I don't know. I don't even know how that happened. But anyway, so back at my Kroger, we over there doing our little work. Mind you, I was working like 6-7 hour shifts, probably like 5-6 hour shifts. Nothing major, but it was overnight. I'm getting ready and stuff. We didn't really have a dress code for real to wear black all the time because, I mean, it's going to get dirty. I was working. They had me stocking up the pickle jars. And one time they brought me a broken jar of pickles when I was over there working on the I was like, why would you bring me a broken jar of pickles? Like, what's really wrong with you? Like, you could have cleaned that up. You could have did something. I'm over here stocking up the shelves. I was either stocking up the coffee, the cereal, the pickle jars, the cans. I hated the cans. I hated when they gave me the pasta. Because what are you doing with like 50 bags of pasta that we got to put on the shelves? Who is selling it out that fast? It's pasta. And you would think that, okay, yeah, there's different types of pasta. But they had like 80 variations of the pasta. It was a bunch of stupid stuff. But basically, we got the manager, the new manager. What I call her, Ponytail. So Ponytail comes up and she's like, hey, y'all. She's a little white lady. Now, I don't think this had nothing to do with racism. I'm going to start right there. I don't think it had nothing to do with racism. She was only the white lady there except for this other white woman that would work sometimes on a night shift. But everybody else was black. So I don't think it had nothing to do with racism at all because she didn't beef with nobody else about this problem. But my mom said she think it has something to do with me being short. Her thinking I was going to slow them down. But we finna get into that anyway. So basically we I'm over here stocking up the little shelves and stuff. I'm doing my little do, and I see her and I'm like, oh hey, you the new manager? And she's like, yeah, so I'm gonna assign you guys to certain aisles. Okay, cool. You know, I ain't got no problem doing any aisle. So I'm doing my stuff and I'm moving fast on like my first week. You know, I'm moving kind of fast, learning where the aisles are. I'm trying to put the stuff up because I don't want them to be like, oh my gosh, you know, why are you moving so slow? But as I got like the hang of it, like the next week when she came, I started moving at my own pace because I learned what worked for like my schedule and how much time I have per aisle. Because I usually did the same aisles anyway. So once you move at that own speed, as long as the stuff is getting done and you're doing it right, it shouldn't matter, right? If I would have known I was going to get fired, I would have punched her in her face. It's very like, again, like I said, body bug. She's just like, hey, y'all, make sure y'all do this. And when I was doing stuff, she was like, oh, you got to do it this way. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I'm doing it. I'm doing it right. I'm doing it the Kroger way.
Tuh.
I'm stocking up the stuff. I'm making sure that I zone the little aisle. I'm doing the conditioning, as they say. The aisle look nice. I'm putting the stuff where I need to go. I'm putting the back stuff off at the top shelf or trying to figure out where we go put it, if it's just extra, whatever it is. So I'm just doing that. I'm asking her questions if I don't know what I'm doing and stuff. She's acting like everything's cool, right? She's like, oh, you're doing fine. You're doing great. You're doing amazing, actually. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So I'm back there working with her one day, and she's like, oh, we need to do this because you got to do not shelf, but you need to do aisle like 7, 8, 9. And I'm like, how am I supposed to do 7, 8, 9? I work a 5-hour shift. I can barely get done with 2 aisles in a 5-hour shift. And if you went to a Kroger, you know them aisles are long. Long aisles. So I'm like, girl, what? I was like, how am I supposed to finish 2 aisles within 5 hours? That's like dang near impossible. How am I supposed to do that by myself? She was like, I don't know, but you need to figure it out.
I should have punched her in the
face. So I'm like, okay. So I finished my little aisles, and then I'm like, okay, it's about to be time for me to go. So then she's like, oh, can you do that last aisle? I'm like, cool. So I do my little last aisle or whatever. I go about my day. I tell her, I'm like, hey, you need me to do anything else before I go? Communication, hello?
Because she could never.
And she's like, oh, no, I'm good. You can go home. Another day comes. I'm doing my little aisles. I get done with my 2 aisles I was assigned. I'm done with it. And I don't really come up to her and ask her if she needs anything else. It's time for me to go. I'm ready to clock out. We're not even supposed to stay longer than our shift, really, because then they go start being like, oh, you're doing overtime. You're doing overtime. Go home. I'm done with my shift. And plus, I'm not my ride home. Waiting on me. And sometimes she had to wait on me because I had to do stuff like put the stuff in the compressor. And it's just not good. One day, I was trying to put my trash in there at the end of the night. She was like, oh, you can just leave it here because I'm going to do it for you. I'm like, cool. That's perfect. I'm like, are you sure? She's like, yeah, because this woman done blocked off, like, the compressor part. She going to put, like, 2 big old, like, these 2 big old things with all these boxes on top of it. And I'm just like, why would you put them at both entrances? Like, both exits? Like, why would you put it right there? So, Ponytail is going off. She's like, is she dumb? Like, why would she put the stuff right here? And I'm asking the same thing because I'm like, why would you put it right there? You know it's almost the end of the night and you know we got to put stuff right there. It's 2 compressors, but why would you go all the way around just to go put the stuff in there when it just needs to be right here? She's like, oh, if you got to go ahead and go. I'm like, okay, fine. Communication is working. Another day, I was told to go do my training online. So I'm upstairs and, you know, I call my man on the phone because, you know, it get a little boring. He on the phone right now, just doing my little training while I'm on the phone with him. Okay? And I wasn't just up there dragging it out for like hours and hours. I was doing my training. I said, once I'm done with this training, I'm going to go back downstairs. I get a little call on the intercom. Say, can you come down here on aisle 5? I'm like, Okay. So I go down there. She's like, what are you doing, Maya? I'm still on FaceTime with him. Like the phone is still visibly on. So she sees that and she's like, oh, what were you doing? And I'm like, I was doing my training. You told me to go do my training. Like, you can even look on the thing. Like, I finished doing my training. She's like, oh, okay, well, you need to be down here. It's only 3 people working tonight. I'm like, I'm sorry. You told me to do this, so this is what I'm doing. But I could go work on the aisle. Which aisle you want me to work on? She's like, go work on aisle 6, da 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 da. And then she looks at my phone and she's like, you need to get off of your phone. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm about to hang it up. I'm like, bye. And I'm about to hang up the phone, right? Because I wouldn't just hang up in his face. I was like, bye, okay. Me trying to be respectful. I'm like, okay, I'm about to hang up so she can see I'm hanging up. She's like, not even 2 seconds later. She's walking away. Not even 2 seconds later. She's like, you need to hang up your phone or you can take it up with corporate. You can take it up with Kroger.
Bitch.
So me, I'm a little irritated. I catch a little attitude, but I ain't say nothing smart back to her because, again, she is my manager. So I'm like, who the hell she talking to? I'm thinking that I'm venting on the phone when I get home because I was like, I don't feel like going back and forth with her. So I'm venting and stuff. I'm texting him. I'm like, oh, this tripping. She over here saying this and this. There was no problem for her to have like an attitude. I don't care if you're mad that only 3 people are here and everybody else decided to call off or they're not on the schedule or somebody messed up the schedule. Don't take that up with me. Last time I checked, I'm not HR. I'm not management. Take that up with somebody else. So I'm like, nah, she tripping. So I tell my mom about it and my auntie, and they like, oh, she's just being a manager. I'm like, nah, it was a little bit of oomph behind that attitude. I feel like she had something personal with me. I've never been disrespectful, never called her out of her name. I've never looked at her sideways. I never said anything smart to her. So I'm like, why is she like doing that? But I was like, maybe she just had a bad day, and I got over it. So why the little weekend I had, my little 3-4 day weekend I had with my boyfriend, we were going out of town to go to a wrestling event. So we go to Florida. We have fun. It was so cute and so fun, y'all. We was gone for 3 days. I called off. I made sure to call off and made sure I was off the schedule, right? I get back. I'm like, okay. She's still pretending everything's cool with me. She's still pretending that we all chill and everything. She's telling me about her life, her kids. She's telling me about how she used to work at the other Kroger. I'm like, girl, we got like 50 boxes of pasta that I cannot put on the shelf. Where am I going to put it? She's like, oh, just go to that later. How do you want me to go to that later, but you over here telling me to finish the aisles, and now you're complaining because it's not done? It's not going to be done in 5 hours, babe. I just asked you where the in the pasta. Like, are you dumb? So, I never really had an attitude with her after that. But after that, I was a little like, okay, she clearly was having a bad day. I'm not going to take it up with her personally. But I was kind of like on my toes at that point because I was like, I don't know. I felt like it was still personal. I have no problem working at all, y'all. But I have a problem with you coming up to me at the last hour telling me to do another aisle. If you would have said at the beginning, hey, can you do your stuff faster so you can help me? Or can you do your stuff faster so you can knock out this other aisle because we really don't have a lot of people working? I have no problem with that. But don't come up to me last minute not communicating because you don't have nobody or somebody called out last minute. That's not my problem. I'm supposed to work my shift. That's my shift. I have no problem staying a little over to get a little extra money, and I ain't got no problem with that. It's overnight. Stuff like this happen because I had an overnight job like that too. Sometimes we had to stay like an extra hour, extra 30 minutes. And me, I could have communicated too. So that's on me, but girl, come on. Y'all, why this final week, she's still pretending everything's cool with me, right? And I'm working, I think I'm halfway through the week or whatever. It was a Thursday. It was a Thursday morning. I went home. It was 4 a.m. Mind you, that last day I was there, she was not there. So I'm on the phone talking to Darnell. I'm like, bruh, she's over here tripping. Da-da-da-da. He was like, you're going to get fired. I was like, no, I'm not. Indeed, I did. I did get fired, but it's not because I was on the phone. It was one of the reasons, but that's not why. Because, girl, let me tell you, I'm at home sleeping in my bed at 4 in the morning, right? I get a little call from Kroger. I answer it. I'm like, they don't never call me at 4. So I know either I'm about to get fired or they about to tell me to go work at the other Kroger for tonight, like they did before. So I'm like, okay, cool. I answer the phone. She's like, yeah, we're no longer in need of your services anymore. And I'm like, I'm half woke. I'm not even woke for real. I'm like, okay. And then she's like, Well, yeah, it was just like, I was trying to tell her that we should give you more like chances or more time to like maybe pick up the slack. They were saying that you weren't working fast enough and that you weren't zoning and you weren't finishing your aisles. And I was like, this lying like a bitch. She's lying. So I'm like, not conditioning, not finishing my aisles. The only time I didn't finish that aisle is when I asked her could I go home. And that other time because I felt like being a little petty. I was like, I'm not finna finish it. It's not even my aisle. So I did a little bit of the aisle, but the rest of it was literally backstock. So technically it wasn't quote unquote finished because I didn't put it at the top. But girl, it's backstock. Where are we gonna put these big fat boxes of tissue? Well, you can't put it at the top. Where are you finna put it? But when I got that call, I was like, okay. So I get on my phone and I started applying for jobs, and I had a job within like 2 days. Like, don't play with me. But best believe that same day that they told me that I got fired, I went up to the store. I went up there and I said, so I just wanted to know why I was fired. She was like, well, she was just saying like one time you was on your phone when you were supposed to be doing your work, and I was like, I was on the phone. Granted, I could have hung up when I got down there when she called me, but I didn't think it was much of a problem. People are on their phone all the time. She never clocked in for it, so why is she clocking me? If she had a problem with that, she could have communicated that instead of secretly reporting me. She secretly reported me to get me fired. And y'all, mind you, this was over 4 weeks. I only worked there for 4 weeks, if that. Like, I was working there. She reported me at the other Kroger. That was my second day working. She reported me because I didn't finish the aisle when I asked her. She wanted me to finish it because I said I have to go and it's a whole nother aisle you want me to do, but I can't finish that within my time frame. Communicating like everything is fine when you're being a fake. So she's just lying. You got to be reported a good amount of times for you to get fired. So I'm like, I'm not going to go down with this lightly at all. So you know what I do? I call up good old HR. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I was wrongfully fired because this lady was not communicating with me. She was just secretly reporting me. She never told me anything was wrong. And I was doing my job. I was finishing my hours and everything. So I don't know where she got this information from. But I personally think that she just wanted to get me fired. Da, 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 da. I didn't say it like that, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. And she was like, oh, well, technically in the state of Georgia, we don't have to tell you why you got fired. Well, did. So let me tell you why I'm about to get on. Because who are you talking to? I was already told why I got fired. So now I'm about to tell you to tell your manager to learn how to communicate with her fucking. Mike, she never got on nobody case about being on their phone. She never got on nobody case about not finishing anything. It was nothing but black men. I was the only black woman here. Maybe it has something to do with me being a black woman. I don't think so, because when she get on the black men too. But who knows? It could have been because I'm a black woman. It could have been because I was small and she thought I was going to hold it back. That's what I think it is, because I'm like very short. So she must have thought that since I was moving at my own pace, that I was going to slow them down. That's stupid. Why would I finish 2 aisles extremely early knowing I still got like 2 more hours? I'm going to stretch it out. Right about that. I literally went out of town. So how many times could you possibly have reporting me for me to get fired? She's like, well, the good news is you're still rehireable. Nigga, if I'm rehireable, why would you fire me in the first place? That mean it wasn't that deep. Oh, y'all got me messed up. Oh, y'all got me messed up. If I would have known I was going to get fired, I promise you, I probably would have slapped her, or I would have did something. I would have cursed her out, if not slapped her, but I definitely would have cursed her out, because slapping her is kind of like, you're doing too much. Oh my gosh. My last day I was working that week was Sunday. I didn't even get until Thursday. They could have gave me that Friday I was working, that Saturday, and that Sunday, and then they could have fired me on that Sunday. They didn't even let me work the full week. But the check was still looking pretty decent, so I wasn't complaining. Moral of the story is communicate with your managers. But if your manager is on some like slick, slidey stuff like that, then just get it.
Yeah, don't let them play in your face.
Did it. But shout out to Serial, for real. Serial, because he was really my bestie. Like, for real. He really made it not as boring. I do appreciate him. So if you ever come across this video, Serial, you a real one. Because, we used to suck them shelves and talk our crap together. And you made the, shifts go by a lot faster. Yeah. But that is the end of the story. Moral of the story is don't say bullshit for nobody, okay? And also, if you don't know how to effectively communicate, you do not need to be a manager. So I hope you watching this video. And when I catch you, if I ever catch you, it's up. Okay, I'm about to get off of here. Love y'all down. Don't forget to hit the description to check out the links, okay? Because not only do you guys get to support, families that are in desperate need of help, but yeah. Also, I am closing my business. I've had it for 3 years. So if you guys want to shop my up to 50% off sale, go ahead and check that out too. moneyscraps.com. I do plan on having another business. Sales are slow, and I'm just not interested in the stuff I sell anymore. It's boring. I see it every single day. I want something new, cute. So I'm gonna have another business down the line. But I'm gonna see you guys later. Don't forget to follow me. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, share this out with your friends, and I'm gonna see y'all later. Okay? Bye. I like my lashes.